Good evening and welcome to the Friday edition of Source 16 News at 10. New this hour, as a result of the recent storms and flooding, Governor Steve Beshear today requested on behalf of Kentucky's farm families a disaster declaration from Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack. Governor Beshear says, quote, reports indicate that Kentucky farmers have significant losses of crops and infrastructure, and the conditions have critically impacted spring plantings. Because of the impact, he says assistance from the U.S. Department of Agriculture is critical and necessary to offset resulting income losses. The request is for 21 counties, including Caldwell, Fulton, Graves, Hopkins, Lyon, Marshall, and Muhlenberg counties. According to the governor, additional counties may be added to the request at a later date if conditions warrant. The City of Madisonville Electric Department is sending workers to Dayton, Tennessee to assist that town in recovering from the recent storms that impacted their community. Madisonville Electric Superintendent Jim Ashbury says knowing firsthand how invaluable help is for restoration efforts because of the 2009 ice storm, the utility wanted to offer assistance to another community. He notes through the Utilities Association with the Tennessee Valley Public Power Association, they were alerted to the needs of Dayton, and they will send a crew of 7 employees to help replace utility poles and repair overhead 3-phase electrical power systems. Dayton, Tennessee has a population of about 6,600 people with around 10,000 utility customers and is located between Chattanooga and Knoxville. The Hopkinsville Christian County Chamber of Commerce added another business to their membership today. Chamber officials held a ribbon cutting this afternoon to officially welcome the Christian County Senior Citizen Center, formerly known as the A.W. Watt Senior Center.
We're very proud of our facility. We have just finished recently a renovation of the inside, and that actually is why we're having the ribbon cutting inside, because the outside looks the same as it always has. But we are very proud of the way the inside looks. We have completely renovated our kitchen. We have a whole new kitchen facility. We have everything you see is new except the floors.
Officials also hosted a fish fry to raise money for the Senior Citizen Center's struggling Meals on Wheels program. Goodwill in Hopkinsville will open to the public tomorrow at its new location. The new facility is located on Fort Campbell Boulevard near the Country Club Lane intersection and will open to the public for both donating and shopping. Goodwill officials say the newly built donation and retail center replaces an older facility that Goodwill has occupied since 1995. Vice President of Goodwill Industries of Kentucky's Western Division, John Wade, says, quote, thanks to the generosity of people in Hopkinsville and the surrounding area, the old location was simply too small to properly accommodate their donors and shoppers. With the construction of the new 14,000 square foot facility, Goodwill will now employ more people and triple the amount of retail space for shoppers. In accordance with Goodwill's mission, there is an emphasis on hiring people with disabilities or other disadvantages. Each Goodwill center employs an average of 8 to 12 people. The Christian County grand jury today indicted a Hopkinsville man for the highly publicized kidnapping and murder of a local woman who was found dead on the side of Christian Quarry Road. 44-year-old Tremel Smith is charged with murder, kidnapping, first-degree robbery, tampering with physical evidence, and knowingly receiving stolen property worth over $500. According to his indictment, Smith committed murder on Tuesday, March 1st by intentionally and wantonly assaulting and suffocating Susan James of Hopkinsville. As we previously reported, a detective testified that a witness told police he was at Smith's home visiting when he saw a mostly naked female body lying near the back door. The detective said when the witness asked about the female, Smith replied that she was a friend and that he was taking her home. He then reportedly saw Smith place the body into her Ford Explorer. Smith is currently lodged in the Christian County Jail on a $1 million bond. 2 Hopkinsville men have been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole in connection to a crack cocaine distribution ring. According to U.S. Attorney David Hale, James Lamont Dunbar and Rodney Edward Moore received a mandatory sentence after being convicted by a federal jury in Paducah of conspiracy to distribute 50 grams or more of crack cocaine on January 18th of this year. Dwayne Michael Joseph of Hopkinsville also faces a mandatory sentence of 20 years to life behind bars without the possibility of parole after he was convicted by a federal jury. He will be sentenced next month. Meanwhile, Chief District Judge Thomas B. Russell also sentenced 6 defendants this week from Christian and Todd counties who were indicted by a federal grand jury for their role in the conspiracy to distribute crack cocaine and entered plea deals. Elijah Burks, Devona Riley, and Ronnie Whalen were sentenced to 120 months in prison. Charles Jones was sentenced to 96 months, and Marcus Harris and Camion Roberts were sentenced to 60 months in prison. According to evidence presented at trial between June 2007 and June 2009 in Christian County and surrounding areas, the total amount of crack cocaine distributed by the conspiracy was in excess of 100 kilograms, with a street value of about $100 per gram. Judge Russell previously sentenced Marvin Acree, Perry Red, Rex Whitlock, Amanda Elaine Bush, Anthony Hester, Alvin Wayne Quarles, Donald Williams, Lartavius Banks, and Corey Gray for their role in the conspiracy. 43 Christian County residents were arrested in a drug roundup yesterday. The Hopkinsville Police Department and the Pennyroyal Narcotics Task Force conducted warrants sweep based on an accumulation of drug cases investigated by these agencies. According to police, a joint effort yielded 43 warrant arrests, with 47 warrants issued for a combined total of 92 drug charges of trafficking in marijuana less than 8 ounces, trafficking in a controlled substance, cocaine or drug unspecified, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Christian County Sheriff's Department also assisted in the warrants sweep arrest of residents in Hopkinsville, Oak Grove, and Pembroke, while 4 individuals are still being sought. To view the names of those arrested and lodged in the Christian County Jail, go to our website, Source16.com. A Todd County woman was arrested earlier today for allegedly engaging in sexual acts with someone under the age of consent. 23-year-old Brenda Valentine of Guthrie was taken into custody at her Warren Avenue home for the alleged offenses that occurred between October and November of last year and included multiple victims. Valentine is accused of engaging in deviant sexual intercourse, having sexual intercourse, and sexual contact with another person under the age of consent. She was lodged in the Todd County Detention Center on charges of second-degree sodomy, second-degree rape, first-degree sexual abuse, and 2 counts of first-degree sexual abuse, victim under 12 years of age. The National Weather Service has determined storm damage in the Bradshaw Road area of Christian County on Monday was caused by a tornado that touched down. Christian County Emergency Management Director Randy Graham told Source16 it was an EF1 tornado that touched down around the area of Long Pond and Bradshaw Roads. As we reported Monday night, 2 barns were destroyed, a home was damaged, and trees were blown down or snapped. Weather spotters estimated on Monday the debris path was about a quarter of a mile wide. Meanwhile, Graham says officials are still working to determine if straight-line winds or a possible tornado caused damages in the area of Highway 117, the Herndon Oak Grove Road near Fort Campbell, where 2 160th Special Operations Aviation hangars and 2 helicopters were reportedly destroyed, as well as some other damages. Rumors flying around that all boat ramps in Marshall County have been closed are false. Marshall County Sheriff Kevin Byers says none of the rumors are true, and they have checked with the Coast Guard and TVA regarding these issues, and all public access ramps are open and the lake is not closed. According to Sheriff Byers, the Coast Guard is not planning on closing it as of right now, from what information he has gathered directly from them. Well, the spring forest fire hazard season officially ends tomorrow. Despite the recent heavy rainfall, state officials report 650 wildfires have burned more than 14,300 acres in Kentucky since the first of the year. Most of these fires were due to arson. In fact, over 60% of wildfires in the state in the last 5 years have been intentionally set, according to officials. Officials say outdoor burning can also lead to wildfires, so before conducting any outdoor burning, citizens are advised to be familiar with the applicable regulation. For more information about the fire hazard seasons, outdoor burning laws, and safe burning practices, visit the Division of Forestry's website at forestry.ky.gov. The Mayfield War Memorial Project will get underway in Graves County tomorrow. Mayor Teresa Cantrell says volunteers are asked to bring paintbrushes, rollers, long handles for rollers, tools, rakes, shovels, scrapers, etc. Volunteers should also bring sack lunches or be prepared to take lunch of their own. While some snacks will be available, the mayor says lunch will not be provided. According to Cantrell, the rain has set the project back a bit, but volunteers will paint the walls and be ready to go for the graphics over the next few weeks, weather permitting. In the event of rain tomorrow, the project will be postponed and scheduled for a later date. Mayfield's War Memorial Stadium was built in 1949. A Marshall County intersection is now fully open and fully functional. Transportation Cabinet spokesman Keith Todd reports paving was completed this morning on new one-way ramps at the intersection of Kentucky 58, the Bryans-Burg Road, and US 641, the Benton-Draffinville Road. The Marshall County Highway Maintenance Crew started work with a contractor last July to realign the intersection to improve safety. Todd says motorists who regularly travel this intersection in north central Marshall County need to be alert for changes in traffic flow for the newly configured ramps that will bring more to the intersection. A landslide on the Western Kentucky Parkway in Caldwell County has caused eastbound traffic to be restricted to one lane. Transportation Cabinet officials say the landslide spilled into the shoulder area near the 16-mile marker of the Western Kentucky Parkway, and additional land spillage is possible. All eastbound traffic is being moved to the left-hand or passing lane to allow removal of material along the shoulder and right-of-way. Motorists need to use caution and be alert for slowing and merging traffic in this area. A fugitive from justice wanted in Tennessee was arrested in Fulton County yesterday. 26-year-old Corey Williams of Martin, Tennessee was taken into custody in a parking lot off Middle Road. Fulton police say Williams was wanted by the Martin Police Department as well as the Obion County Sheriff's Office for some burglaries and thefts. He was lodged in the Fulton County Detention Center awaiting a hearing to determine if or when he is to be extradited back to Tennessee. A Marshall County man was arrested after he allegedly tried to break into a residence. 43-year-old Stacy Dowell of Calvert City was arrested this morning around 2:15 by the Marshall County Sheriff's Department when they responded to a call of a subject trying to get into a residence on Calvert City Road. When police arrived on the scene, they found Dowell hiding behind the home in some tall grass with a flashlight in front of him and an open leather-type tool with the knife extended out in his pocket. According to police, he was obviously under the influence and reeked of alcohol. Dowell was taken into custody and charged with operating a motor vehicle under the influence, second-degree criminal trespassing, and possession of burglary tools. He was lodged in the Marshall County Detention Center. Taking a look at tonight's Mega Millions jackpot, it's up to $40 million, and Saturday's Powerball jackpot is $25 million.